Hello, everybody. Tim here with a Blu-ray review today of Rogue One, a Star Wars story. So this is the first in the standalone films in the Star Wars franchise. Now that Disney has the rights, it's obviously also the follow-up to The Force Awakens, which was the biggest thing ever a couple of years ago at this point now. So yes, I don't feel like I need to talk about the movie a whole heck of a lot. I guess I'll just say that I like the movie, um, but I have found that I like it less and less each time I watch it. The first time it was like, yes, Star Wars, yeah, 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 yeah. And then every time after that's been like, oh, I don't really like that. Oh, and that's not cool. Oh, and that. And then tonight watching it on Blu-ray was the fifth time I've seen it. And yeah, I found it to be just okay. Still very enjoyable. I recommend people see it. Um, but the movie itself is just when you're following up The Force Awakens, it's yeah, it's hard to follow that up. But that Vader scene at the end is awesome. If you haven't seen the movie, it's worth it alone just for that scene. But anyway, getting into the nitty gritty about the Blu-ray itself. The release was very odd for this one. There's a few different editions at a few different stores, which I'm going to talk about. The standard one that's at every store that you can find, it's just a Blu-ray DVD digital copy. Comes with a Blu-ray bonus disc that has some special features on it, which I'll get into what those are soon. And then there's a Target edition that has some like lenticular pictures in it. It's got some like cards as well, but it has the same discs, and then it has like one extra bonus feature that's digital only. So just be wary of that. And then there is the Walmart edition, which is basically the same thing. It's the same exact Blu-ray as the normal one. It just has a different slip cover. It's got a K2SO slip cover, which I feel like that's the way Walmart's going to be going with these movies, because last year they had a BB-8 slip cover for Force Awakens. So I don't know what's going on there, but they must love the droids over at Walmart. And then Best Buy, in my opinion, is the best one. It has a steelbook, which I'm not a fan of steelbooks, but this steelbook, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but is the only place where you can get a 3D copy of the movie. The steelbook at Best Buy has a 3D disc in there. So that is the one I got. I actually got the regular one and the steelbook, and I just put the 3D disc in my regular case. Because I don't like steelbooks, but the steelbook packaging is good. If you're a fan of steelbooks, that is the one I would get, because it has everything. It has the normal movie, the 3D movie, the DVD, this bonus feature disc, and the digital copy. So now getting into the nitty gritty of it, the movie itself, it looks gorgeous. Like it's Disney, it's Star Wars, it's gonna look great. The sound quality is fantastic. It's got Dolby Atmos, which is always the best, and the picture quality is fantastic. No 4K release, but this picture quality is really, really good. Eventually, I'm sure there will be a 4K release. But for right now, the quality here is great. So no worries there. You're going to get great quality. The bonus features are, once again, a little disappointing. And I've talked about this on my channel before, but Disney's bonus features really are starting to tick me off. And I know, if I remember correctly, the Doctor Strange ones were decent. They weren't fantastic, but they weren't terrible either. And it was the same thing with the Moana ones. Like, there was more than I expected there to be, but it wasn't like amazing. And I actually enjoyed the Force Awakens bonus features. They had quite a bit on there. There's probably about 2.5 hours of content. There's about an hour on here. And most of the info on here was stuff that I did not. It didn't hit me. I didn't care. So to get into it, there's about a 7-minute thing on how they came up with the idea, which that I was interested in. That's cool. But then there's about 40 minutes of just, we're going to talk about this character and how Jin is a strong, independent character. And then we're going to talk about Cassian and how he's a cool, diverse character. And then we're going to talk about You know, I can't even remember half the characters' names. That's part of this movie. Galen Urso and how he's, diverse and cool character. And it's just like they don't get into the nitty gritty of the characters. They just give you a very washed over look at them. And it's cool to see the behind the scenes stuff, but it's so few and far between that it just, I don't know, I felt bored watching it, and I want to be engaged when I'm watching bonus features. So that was unfortunate. Um, there was a pretty cool one about the look of the movie. It was about 7 minutes long, and they just talk about the production design and the character design and stuff. So that was cool. I enjoyed that. But that's about 15 minutes out of an hour and 10 minutes of bonus features that I liked. So I am disappointed in that disc. Not as good as the Force Awakens disc, bonus disc, but I would still say that there's enough on there for like really avid Star Wars fans to like get their teeth wet a little bit. Um, but for me personally, I didn't love it, and I probably won't revisit it ever again. Whereas that like Force Awakens one, they talked so much about the development of the movie, and then the start of the movie, and then the filming of the movie, and that was like all so cool, and they got so into it. And this one, it just felt very shallow, which is unfortunate. Um, Especially considering if you go back and say what you will about episodes 1, 2, and 3, the DVDs that came out for episodes 1, 2, and 3 back in the day had incredible special features. They had hours and hours of bonus features about the making of the movies. And that just, I get it's a trend that's going down, but with something like Star Wars, you had the opportunity here to give fans something great, and I feel like Disney is gypping them. And they're kind of cutting us. And, if they do something again where they release a collector's edition with a commentary and with this and that and the other thing, in 6 months, I'm not gonna buy it. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna spend any more money on this movie, because that just tells them that it's okay to give us crappy special features, and it's okay to give us nothing but the movie, because in 6 months we'll just buy another copy of it for $30. Well, I'm not going to do it anymore. So I hope that next year, around this time when The Last Jedi is coming out on Blu-ray, which is weird to think about since we haven't even seen the movie yet, but around this time of year, when that movie's coming out on Blu-ray, I hope I'm singing a different tune and that it has amazing special features and a 4K release and a 3D release all at once. I hope that Disney gets it together, because they're killing it for the most part with the movies themselves, just not so much with the home release. And this goes on just more than Rogue One. I'm just kind of letting it all out right now. um, but anyway, guys, that's about it. So for this movie, I'm going to say that if you can find it for a cheap price, then it's worth it. If you're paying $30, it's not worth it. I would get it either right now when it's like 20, or wait until it's on sale again. But for $30, it's not. It just doesn't feel like a full package. Now, obviously, if you're an avid Star Wars fan, you're gonna get it no matter what I say, and that's totally fine. But I would definitely say it's worth watching on Blu-ray. So find it on Blu-ray to watch it. But maybe hold off on buying it until it's on sale. Unless those bonus features I described really intrigue you. But anyway, guys, that was my review of the Blu-ray for Rogue One. Let me know what you think of this. If you liked my rant here about Disney's Blu-rays, click like, hit subscribe. I've got another Blu-ray review right here. I don't know what it is. It's something from last week. Let's say Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. So you can click on that, listen to what I thought about that movie and that Blu-ray. And until next time, guys, have a good one.